You like that? You like that? What?
Well, hello.
Oh, hello.
Welcome to week
gentlemen.
6. Week 6, baby.
Week 6. Slap it up. Slaps them up. Let's go. We got some fucking big games this week. As long as everybody's healthy.
Got some other games that make you want to fucking swallow a bullet.
No, these are rough. This is a rough day.
Speaking of which, hey, we should get right into it, huh? And then what we're going to do is take some calls a little bit. So we'll put that number up in a little while. We'll go with the matchup of the century. We'll start right now. Matchup of the century. Jets at Dolphins. Ooh. Hot as a rock stadium in Miami. Unbelievable. Be rocking at full capacity, I hear. Huh?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Jets are still hoard with flaccid Joe Flacco behind center. He's not going to get it done. Le'Veon Bell's gone. They give up big games with number 2 receivers. Hence he's going to take a nap right in the middle of the fucking field this week. Preston Williams, sleeper.
Really?
Preston Williams, sleeper. He had 106 yards last week versus San Francisco. I think he crossed 100 yet again this week. Fitzmagic will be on full display, unlike and like the Democrats say, vote early, vote often. The fish will be up early and often. Turn to a balanced offense. I think Myles Gaskin gets a little bit of play, getting the oval bacon plenty of times. Dolphins 31-17.
Nice. What's the over-under on that? What's the over-under?
What do we got, Maynard?
47.
What do we got?
47.
Jesus, look at that. I had 48 points.
Yeah.
I guess I'll take the over. 31-17.
Yeah, I think a big game coming out of Grosicki, a tight end for the Dolphins. He kind of had the bounce back. One of the only things I got right last week, he did have the bounce back. I also said last week that Ryan Fitzpatrick was going to be a bum against the Niners, and he had like fucking 300 yards passing and like 3 touchdowns. So I'm an idiot.
Wow.
Temper your expectations on Gore. Look for, I think his name is LaMichael Perrine.
LaMichael Perrine, Jets, running back.
Yeah, I'd pick him up just in case. I mean, how long can you run Gore into the ground? He's like 52 years old. Just pick him up. Why not?
Unbelievable.
This
guy's incredible. 37 years old, still got the rock. Hot as a rock stadium, Miami. Full capacity.
There's kids in college running right now.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
God.
How crazy would that be if they end up on the same
capacity.
team?
Unbelievable.
All right, we got the Ravens at the Eagles. Philadelphia is a mess. Mess. They have no receivers still. Your guy is, I think, TJ, the number 1 receiver right now because Deshaun's hurt, Alshon Jeffrey's hurt, Goddard's hurt. So look for Ertz today because if they're going to trade him, I mean, I think they have less than a month left. So start feeding him the rock, start getting him the ball, sell high on him, start your Miles Sanders. Baltimore's going to go off. I'm looking for a big game from Ingram today. This whole running back thing has been a mess so far. They haven't had anybody going. Start making some money. Let's go run the ball with Ingram. Start pushing away from the AFC North. I love the Baltimore Ravens. I love the over, and I'll take the points. 9.5.
Wow.
Yep.
9.5. Under 9.5.
Oh, and Hollywood Brown is going to go off too. Hollywood Brown is going to have a great game today.
Well, Miles Sanders is in on almost 80% of the snaps. I think if you can keep him, if they can't contain him, it's going to be a bad day. So I'll take the over. I'll take the over.
Yeah, Philadelphia's been scoring some points. I mean, Wentz has been getting in the end zone running the ball, which is odd, but
Game last weekend against Pittsburgh was a fuck ton closer than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Jesus Christ, thought it was going to be. Every one of us thought that was the blowout of the week.
No shit.
So
wrong again.
Wrong again. All
right, third game we got going on. We got the 4-1 Bears versus the 3-2 Carolina Panthers.
Ooh.
And you got Teddy Ruxpin Bridgewater. He's been great. He's been a good game manager. Everything cracks up to be. We got an issue, though. The Chicago defense gives up the fewest fantasy points for a QB. All right? Let's try and find someone out there that's not Teddy Bridgewater, and definitely find someone out there that's not Nick Foles, because Carolina's defense allows the third least amount of fantasy points to QBs. All right? So, pretty interesting right there. Running backs, has there been ever in the history of football a better replacement for a stud running back than Mike Davis? I mean, honestly, the guy's been a fucking stud. And we're going to get – you know what? When McCaffrey comes back, I think Davis has got to cut into some of his workload.
Oh, he's going to save him. He's going to save his career. If you can get someone that can do just the same and, share carries, I mean, it's going to cut into his fantasy play, but, he's going to save his legs.
Absolutely.
And he catches the ball a ton.
Yeah, he's a top 3 PPR. That's exactly what I was going to say, Mandarin. He's been great out of the backfield catching the ball. He's a must start. Also a must start would be David Montgomery. The Panthers D have given up the second most fantasy points to running backs this season. So, you got to start him. Wide receivers, what a pleasant surprise. Robbie Anderson is third in the NFL for receiving yards. I think he went undrafted mostly. I know he was undrafted in a lot of leagues I was in. So whoever got him on the waiver wire was pretty smart cookie,
Yeah.
And then on the other side of the ball, Allen Robinson, also a must start. And he has the most targets in the NFL, which I didn't know before I did my homework this morning, which was kind of interesting. Past 3 games, 27 receptions, 314 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So you can see that that's completely attributed to Nick Foles coming in and playing QB there. Tight ends, I don't even think Carolina has a tight end anymore. But Jimmy Graham, he's a top 10 fantasy tight end now just because of the red zone targets he's getting, has 4 touchdowns. He's a start. And honestly, both defenses, just because of what I was saying about the points given up to fantasy quarterbacks, both defenses are probably in the top 10 as well this week. So, I think a mediocre days for both of these QBs, maybe 200 some odd yards passing, a touchdown, and maybe a pick. So I'd probably be looking at starting definitely the Bears defense. I think it's going to be I don't know. The over-under is 44. I got the Panthers winning, actually, 24-17. So I got the under, and I got the Panthers in the under.
Wow.
Yeah,
Panthers are the feel-good story of the year so far.
I think so too.
Right under the radar, under point spread, under it all, under. 17-14.
I think it's going to be a ground game. I think it's going to be slow.
It's going to be slow.
Run the ball.
Not great. I mean, some of the games that we've watched over the last few weeks have just been like so-so. Like, you just put you to fucking sleep. So, speaking of putting you to sleep, another barn burner. 2 bad teams. One team who gives up 8.4 yards a throw. The other team that's given up the most yards in the NFL. The Lions and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Lions have been pretty decent at securing the ball. I like that. Only 3 giveaways. That should be. And hey, what rhymes with assault?
Passault.
Laviska Shenault.
Oh,
okay. Take a nap right in the middle of the field. Nap it right out in the middle of the field. Sleeper.
He got me.
Sleeper. He's a sleeper of the week. He's going to have a breakout performance this week. I think Stafford's pretty good, and better than the Mandarin lookalike porn stash Gardner Minshew. I'm going to take the Lions in the over here. Both defenses are just fucking porous.
Yeah.
There's no way. So, Stafford, you're going to go with Kerryon Johnson. Is he in? Yeah, he's playing this week, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Laviska Shenault, Minshew, start them all. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, high-scoring affair. What's the over/under?
We got, let's see, 54-5.
Ooh.
I'm
still going to take the over.
I could see the over.
Yeah, I can see a 31-28 game.
And I think Shark.
Where is that game
playing?
That is in Jacksonville, COVID Central.
Okay.
Where their whole practice squad got COVID.
Jesus.
Don't worry. They're separated. They're separated from
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah. That sounds fun.
Yeah, what are you thinking about Galladay and some of those other receivers and that? You think just a big day for the receivers there?
Again, Jacksonville's giving up 8.4 yards a catch.
Yeah.
So if Stafford throws 20 passes, let's do the math real quick. He's going to throw more than that. He's going to throw 30. I mean, he's going to have a field day.
Yeah.
He should have a field day. So Jacksonville sucks.
Yeah, and in your non-PPR leagues, I think Peterson, he's probably available in a lot of leagues. Probably only about 70% owned. In your non-PPR leagues, he's got about 60 yards a game from what I've seen. I would scoop him up. I mean, if you need a running back, scoop him up. Why not? He's not going to catch the ball out of the backfield, so if you just need yards, just pick him up.
The way running backs are going right now, brother, you got to get some security on your bench with running backs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, running back in fantasy football is a goddamn mess. It's everywhere. It's just a mess. It's gross.
That is a great segue, TJ, to our next game, the Browns versus Steelers. Claypool. Temper your expectations, people. Oh, my God. He was the number one waiver wire ad. He's not going to catch 4 touchdowns again. He's just not.
I hope he does, just because you just said that.
Like, Jesus. But what's going on with Pittsburgh's receivers? What's going on with Juju? Should you sell high on Juju? If Claypool is going to take over that top spot in the receivers, sell high on Juju. I would get rid of him. What's the point?
Was Juju seeing double coverage? Is that why Claypool was so fucking? They just started feeding the guy like crazy.
It's Pittsburgh. They just grow these receivers out of nothing. I don't know. It's insane. I love Pittsburgh in this game. Mayfield's coming off an injury. He's going to start, obviously, but OBJ, he's not sick. He was dealing with an illness. They're giving up a ton of yards. This is a Kareem Hunt game, hopefully. But this is awful.
Hang on. Rewind it back. OBJ's not sick. He was dealing with an illness. Love the line.
Yeah, he was just dealing with an illness, but they said that he's not sick.
now, like the sick means you fucking have COVID. That's what it is. It wasn't sick.
Yeah. It's not COVID. Excuse me.
Deontay Johnson's not playing either for Pittsburgh today. Yes. So that's one reason why I would say Claypool, like you said, he's not going to have fucking 4 touchdowns, but like probably I'd run him out there again if I had him.
No, why not? I mean, I could see him getting 2 touchdowns. I could see him getting 2 targets and no yards. So it's going to be a gigantic gamble if you do start him.
Wow.
I think he's got Roethlisberger's trust, and fucking that means something right there. So
that's it too.
Yeah, I like Pittsburgh. I'll take the over. I mean, Cleveland, even as bad as they are, they're still scoring a lot. So I take the over.
What is it?
51.
Yeah.
We didn't think that Philadelphia was going to score that many points last week.
I know, right?
Pittsburgh, a 3-point favorite? 3-point favorite?
They are 3.5.
Ooh.
Which is a lot closer than I expected.
I think it's shaved to 3. I would tease the over and take Cleveland plus -3. I would tease it. That's what I would do. So you're looking at a 57. So I like that. I like that play. I think it's going to be a pretty – jeez. Yeah, if Deontay Johnson's out, I'd play Claypool. Les Claypool is going to be great.
Hell yeah. What do we got next? We got this fucking game. For the second week in a row, I get stuck with this fucking game. The 1-3 Broncos against the 2-2 Patriots. All right.
Just look at your notes from last week.
Yeah, I know. Like, well, All right, so Cam is back, right? Cam, I mean, if they even play this game.
He might be.
All right. Drew Lock is back, all right? And he's still a fucking bum. We really don't know what to expect from Cam, but obviously you're going to start him if you have him because he's probably a top 10 quarterback. You got to start him. Running backs, you got Melvin Gordon's out. And you know what's weird? He got a fucking OUI last weekend, right? Haven't heard nothing about it.
Nope.
All right. Everyone ran out.
Breaking news.
He's sick.
And yes.
This week they're like, oh, he's sick. Like, what's he going through? Fucking withdrawals? What do you mean he's sick?
I'm hearing for the first time right now that Melvin Gordon got an OUI last week.
Really?
Right now. Yeah. I just heard it for the first time out of Giggs' mouth.
Dude.
That's how much they quell information in the NFL.
So,
no idea.
Like, you would think, like, nothing out there about this.
Not even a suspension from the team.
Not yet. And usually, like, the league,
until proven guilty.
Yeah, the league will give you fucking 3 games for, like, getting an OUI or some shit like that. Yep. People that saw that ran right out and got Lindsey.
Scooped him up.
And Lindsey's freaking number. Lindsey was projected for like 5 points a game. I looked today, he's projected for like 13 because obviously Melvin Gordon's out. All right. So it's, and I think this is going to be one of those, Bill is going to look to take away Lindsey now because that's what the Patriots do. They take away your best weapon. So that's going to be interesting. Obviously, you got Drew Lock back. He's got Jerry Jeudy. That's about it. And I love Jerry Jeudy, so he's a start. But Noah Fant was expected to play all week, and then see you later, you're out.
He's out.
Yeah. So, it's like the other player I think is pretty interested in this whole equation is Damian Harris. Damian Harris had 100 yards on his debut, whenever that was, 4 fucking months ago. And I think he might be a good flex start because I think the Pats are going to want to just like cram the ball down. Like Denver's like rush defense is pretty good, but I think the Pats are going to want to run the ball. But that backfield can be pretty volatile with Burkhead and White, and so who the fuck knows? But I think they want to see more with what Harris can do. Wide receivers, we talked about Jeudy. Start Jeudy. Edelman, I actually think is probably the best receiver to start on the Pats. Definitely a top 30. Obviously, the last game we saw him and Cam play with each other. He set his individual record with 170 fucking receiving yards, whatever it was. And Bird, like TJ and I were talking about this prior to the show. So, Bird is one of those guys, if you are struggling at wide receiver, you never know. Tight ends, like we said, Noah Fant's out. The Patriots don't have a tight end. They drafted one.
2.
Yeah. They haven't thrown the fucking ball to him once. So I don't get that at all. And even though Gilmore is out, I would still say Pat's defense is a safe bet against this Denver team that is just beat to shit right now.
I had a fan call and ask, on this game, would you start? Who would you rather start? James White or Philip Lindsay? What do we get?
Lindsay.
Absolutely, Lindsay. Just because of the volume. He's going to have
– we'll have to tweet it out.
And Gordon's looked pretty good in that offense overall. So if Lindsay can give you, 75-80% of that, you're good. I think that you're in a good way. And White, he could sit on the bench all game.
I would think Lindsay would have a day like maybe like 60 yards rushing, a touchdown, and maybe like 20 to 30 yards receiving or something like that. I have him starting and as a flex. I think he's a great flex play this week. So flexing.
Well, before I get to the next game, I got a couple of questions here. I have Claypool and Juju. Which one should I play today? I would say Juju Smith.
Juju.
At all times. Let's do that. That's their number one receiver. Could Claypool outplay him? Yeah, good. But you always go to your number one receiver. Always play your number one
Absolutely.
receiver. Somebody else had grade my trade. Gave away Jonnu Smith and Antonio Gibson for Stephon Diggs. I'll grade it as an F. Fail. Antonio Gibson's going to be a running back. Pretty good. Jonnu Smith had, 2 touchdowns last week for Stephon Diggs? I mean,
yeah,
Diggs was good, but
I don't know.
I guess it depends on are you that hard up for a receiver? Yep. I mean, holy shit, dude! Because I tell you what, the tight end pool out there is fucking shallow for top 10 tight ends.
Yeah.
And Gibson, it's like even though Gibson, I probably put Gibson in the same category as Gaskin. Like he's getting all the touches. He's not incredibly flashy or anything, but he's been super productive.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, it depends on what your team is looking like. You could have if you're that hard up for receivers, you probably had Ruggs on the wire. You probably had a couple other wide receivers out there, even Renfro. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a tough.
I tell you what, though, I have Diggs on 3 fucking out of 5 teams. I wouldn't trade him for fucking anything, guy. The guy's getting a ton of targets. He's super productive.
He is the number 1 receiver.
Him and Josh Allen are fucking.
Jesus. Another question: Raheem Mostert or Kenyon Drake this week?
Mostert.
Mostert. He gets the most dirt.
We're going to talk about Drake here in a little bit.
All right. All right. Here we go. Next game up, the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Indianapolis Colts. And we got a team that lost by 24 points last week coming into Lucas Oil Stadium, where the Colts have yet to lose. What a piss poor showing for the number 1 overall pick last week versus the Ravens. Offense mustered 3 points? Christ. The Bengals offensive line's porous. 7 sacks last week, and now facing defense getting close to 3 sacks a game. I have a feeling this won't end well for the Bengals. The Bengals have won their last 2 meetings versus the Colts, but not this week. On the other side of the ball, Phillip and company, maybe a mediocre day. You can see Jonathan Taylor scores on the ground. Heem Hines, who had 7 catches in 2018 versus the Bengals, probably get one through the air, tossing a field goal, maybe another touchdown defensively. I'll say 27-17 Colts. So,
I like that.
I don't know how. The hard thing here is 27-14 Colts. Oh, sorry. How do the Bengals score 2 touchdowns? It has to be late. They get lucky once, and they score 1 late, and that's it.
Tyler Boyd or what's his name's actually looking pretty good too. Not Boyd, but
T. Higgins.
T. Higgins, thank you. Yeah,
he's done pretty well. I mean, does pretty well, but I mean, if you're getting sacked 20 times a game, you can't get the ball off. It's kind of hard to do that well. So the problem with the Bengals is their offensive line, and now they've lost one of the starting offensive linemen who sucked anyway. So I mean, basically, it's like playing 7-on-7, but one team has linemen and the other team doesn't. So.
One thing that's going to be interesting in that game to look out for is Ali Cox is out now, right? And the past couple weeks, so you got Doyle, Trey Burton, and Ali Cox. Ali Cox is out. It's going to be interesting to see how it works out between Jack Doyle and Trey Burton, because I went out and actually, because I have Noah Fant on a couple teams, I'm actually playing Trey Burton. Trey Burton, is that his name? Burton, I know it is.
Yep.
Anyhow. I'll be interested to see what he ends up doing today, because we know about Phillip Rivers and his tight end. So,
that's a nice tight end.
Trey Burton might be someone if you got a tight end that's dinged up, he's out there, he's available. Might be someone you want to look at picking up.
Is he possibly take a nap?
Take a nap.
I don't know. I think I read somewhere that they wanted to get him more involved. But Phillip Rivers,
he did great for Chicago Bears when he played for them. Yep. So blocking and catching, by the way, he's a pretty decent player.
Yeah, he is. Be interesting.
If your kicker's on a bye, if you can go out and get that Blankenship kid from Indianapolis, oh my God, is he great?
Yeah, he's on fire right now.
Number 1 points in all kickers. He had 11 points for me last week. I love that kid.
And he looks like he should be in fucking Revenge of the Nerds too.
Yeah, he's got the glasses. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's fucking
awesome.
I love him.
We got one question here, guys. Fournette or D'Ernest Johnson?
Is this a trade or a start?
The start. Start him, sit him. Leonard Fournette or D'Ernest Johnson?
Fournette's active, but he's hurt, and I think he's going to be limited like last week.
Yeah.
Because he's not 100%
on this one.
Yeah, I would too. So I think Jones is playing, right?
Yep.
Rojo.
Rojo.
And he looked pretty good last game too.
Yeah, he looked great.
Yeah.
Let's go. Mandarin,
All
you're
right,
up. Next game.
We got the Texans at the Titans. Titans, surprise of the week last week. They didn't practice, or they did practice, but not legally. They look great. I mean, they're well coached. I love Vrabel. I love Tannehill. What a quarterback. He was awful.
That was a fucking ass whooping, dude.
Oh,
I couldn't
my
believe
God.
it.
So I would start to look, pick him up if he's still out there and your quarterback's going on the bye and, you don't really have anybody. Dak is hurt. I would scoop up Tannehill if you can get him. Houston looks great. They look great with Bill O'Brien. They have a new fire up their ass. Look for Watson to go off in this game. I think they're finally going to start unleashing him. Cooks, I think he did pretty well last week. I think
he had a fucking huge game, dude. In
yeah,
my non-PPR league, he had 27 points.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Temper your expectations. There's no way that he can do it 2 games in a row.
I don't want to.
I like the temper. I like tempura.
Release Henry. He's great to go. He's good. He can start all year long now. They're done with the bye. Let the Titans roll. Oh, I love the Titans. They went into Buffalo or wherever that game was, and they kicked their ass. And that team.
That's amazing.
I love the Titans right now.
Who was on? Was it Brown that was out last week for wide receiver?
Yeah, AJ Brown was out, I think.
Yep.
Is he out this week as well?
I don't know.
I don't either. I haven't
we need a fact checker on this show.
We need a fact checker. Somebody that I did pick up because he's on the COVID IR list. If you can scoop him up, Corey Davis, and you have an open IR spot, stash him. Why not?
Yeah,
stash him.
Stash him.
We're on the stash.
I got a couple stashers. Ooh, that's a good segment. Stashes.
What's the over/under on that, man?
We got 53.5. I think that's over. I love the over this week in all the games. I mean, Houston can score points. Tennessee's going to score points. All you need is 22 points each, or whatever the math is. Not a math whiz.
It's probably one of the better games this week. Like honestly.
Yeah, I think it's going to be competitive.
Yeah, hey, I'll watch it if that was on. Better than Jets Dolphins.
Absolutely.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I like the Titans this week. Like the Titans, and I will take the under.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think I'd be inclined to take the under too.
Ooh.
I'd be interested. I just don't know. Like,
anybody watching? Watching?
I didn't know. I didn't
watch
the Houston game last week, so I didn't necessarily see everything that happened. But I just find it hard to believe it's like we're going to go from But Houston, their first 4 games, it's like were fucking tough. They had all tough opponents.
Yeah, they had Kansas City,
Pittsburgh,
Baltimore,
KC, Baltimore for 3 of their first 4 games.
Yep.
And so maybe the schedule's lightening up a little bit, and maybe Deshaun can actually. I think he's a top 5 QB actually. Like fantasy football now has him in the top 5 right now. So.
Well, and you get rid of Bill O'Brien. I mean, he was such a weight on everybody's shoulders from what it sounds like.
One of those awesome Patriots coaches that everybody
the tree.
Up. Jesus Christ!
Yeah. All right, we got the 1-4 Washington football team versus the 0-5 Giants. I'm reviewing this game and I was like, this is fucking pathetic. All right, so you got Haskins playing? I don't know.
Trying to find me something good.
You got Kyle Allen playing? I don't know. Alex Smith? I don't know. But I know this much. You ain't fucking playing any of them bums. All right? You ain't playing fucking Daniel Jones either. Because that frick's had fucking fumbled 4 times and thrown 5 picks in the last fucking 3 games or something.
You watch, it'll be 45 to 42. One hell of a game.
Daniel Jones needs to go hang out with Jim Jones and drink his fucking Kool-Aid. That's what needs to happen.
Definitely happens. Yeah, Daniel Jones is not a great player at the moment. So.
Oh my God, he's literally in jeopardy of losing that fucking job right now. So one of the only bright spots that we've seen here as of late was Devontae Freeman actually looked good. I shit on Devontae Freeman all the time, but he had 60 yards rushing, a touchdown, and 27 receiving yards. So yeah, good for him. Antonio Gibson, we talked about him. He's leading the backfield in Washington. He's a solid flex play. wide receivers, Terry McLaurin, Darius Slayton. Both of them are probably wide receiver 3s this week. Fact of the matter is, it's like both of these teams actually have pretty good pass defenses. I think Washington is 7th, giving up 236 yards a game, and the Giants are 11th, giving up 232 yards a game. Wow. So that being said, both of those defenses, good starts, really, against either team, because you don't know who's fucking throwing the ball for Washington, and you know who's throwing the ball for the Giants. So, so if you have a starting defense, like maybe like an Arizona that you've been playing a lot, Arizona's obviously, we're going to be talking about them playing Dallas, high-powered offense. Maybe go out there and grab Washington for a week and start them if you get the space to do it.
Jesus.
And tight ends, you got Evan Ingram, probably still a solid top 10 tight end. And if you're really struggling at tight end, you can find a worse tight end than Logan Thomas. But no, I don't even know who's starting at quarterback. I think it's Kyle Allen. I think. I don't know.
Starting any of these players is you get to the bottom of the cookie dough, and you're like, I can scrape a little bit more off.
Freeman's a good flex. Both those guys are good flexes. Freeman and Gibson are good flex plays for sure. And I think, Washington's D's a good fucking play. And actually, Giants D's pretty, I was surprised. Giants 15th against the run and 11th against the pass.
It's pretty much a pick 'em. Giants are favored by 1.5.
Is that what it is? See, the over-under I have is 3. I got over-under of 43. Is that what you guys have?
Let me see. The line might have moved from last night.
Yeah,
we were at 8.5.
Roller.com.
We were at 2.5 last night.
Okay, so
it went up.
Yeah, the under I got 43. I have the under in this game. Yes. I have the Giants winning their first game. And I'm thinking 20-16 or something.
What's depressing?
Weird.
If the Giants win this game, or whoever wins this game, I think they might be in second place in that division.
That's disgusting.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Awful.
Division is in shambles. Yeah.
So transition, we had another question here. You need to start 2 of these people. You're speaking of Terry McLaurin.
Gonna write it down.
Julio Jones, Scary Terry, Devontae Parker, Les Claypool, and Tyler Boyd.
Parker is getting a start.
Devontae Parker, definitely.
I think Parker and Boyd.
No,
I'm gonna go. It's crazy. I mean, because Boyd's top 10 in the NFL in targets right now. I think he's getting 8 targets a game.
Yep.
Because I'm a fucking idiot, I'd probably go with Parker and Claypool.
Well, I will.
It's a gamble of the week.
I will go with Parker and Julio Jones, which transitions me to this one. Next game up, Falcons at the Vikings, U.S. Bank Stadium in Minnesota. This game's lost some star power. Dalvin Cook's down, but let's see. Alexander Madison, is that who it is?
Yep.
Wasn't he the guy that started the New York Post?
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. Is that Alex Hamilton?
Yeah.
It was Hamilton. Who cares?
We Hawken Heights, New Jersey.
The Vikings would be
leave that to history buffs.
Yes. The Vikings will be tossing out of the backfield and downfield. Expect a huge game from Justin Jefferson this week. I think after his shitty performance of 3 catches, 23 yards last week versus the Seahawks, that was mostly due to a ground control game. But I'll tell you, and I just said it, Julio Jones is back this week. Pairing with Calvin Ridley, Todd Gurley, it should be a high-scoring affair for Matty Ice. I think Julio Jones goes for at least 100 yards.
Wow.
100 yards for Julio Jones. I got the Vikings 35-28, covering the spread and hitting the over.
Yeah, the overs. You know what? I haven't picked another game for the lock of the week. We're going to lock it in. We're going to lock it in. That is
lock it in.
Over. You get 2 high-powered offenses. Falcons' defense is a disaster. I love Thielen. I love Jefferson. Temper the expectations on Mattinson. He didn't look great last week. I mean, he missed that fourth down play at the end of the game. There was a giant hole there, I thought. Temper your expectations on him. I love all the receivers in the Falcons. Love them.
I say Madison goes for over 100 rushing.
Wow.
Ooh.
I'm going to say 100. I'm going to say Madison goes for 100, over 100 rushing, a touchdown, and 30 receiving and a touchdown there too. I think a fucking huge game out of Madison.
Huge game.
Is that just because you picked him up?
I did pick him up. That's why.
Exactly. So it's more hoping.
Scoop him up.
Scoop him up.
It's going to have a monster game. 4 touchdowns like Claypool last week. All right, who's up? I can't remember.
All right, we have the game of the week, the matchup that everybody wants. We got Brady, we got Rodgers. They don't play each other, but they play each other. This is a game of quarterbacks. We finally get to see Brady with no coach. Arians is they have an awful coaching situation down there. Weird. No Bill to carry him in this game against Rodgers. Both defenses look good. Tampa has that sneaky good defense. I think Devontae Parker's back. You got Rodgers. You got Aaron Jones. This is going to be a huge game. On Tampa's side, Godwin's back. You got Mike Evans. He was a little hobbled. He's been hobbled for a couple of weeks now. Roll him. Start them all. Like we said earlier, Fournette, he's still banged up. Don't start him. He's probably not going to play a ton. He might just get in on the kneel downs just to get him on the field real quick. Ronald Jones, huge game. He looked great last week. Over 100 yards, I believe. I can't believe that he's catching the ball like this, that he's running the ball like this, because when Fournette got signed, I thought Ronald Jones was an automatic drop. So he's been
he's been great.
Yeah, he's been doing great. Yep, good for him. I love. It's a pick'em. It's a -1. I think Green Bay is favored 55 points. I'll take the under in this game because I think one of the quarterbacks is going to make a mistake. Brady has no idea what down it is. He's been throwing a lot of interceptions this year. He's had a couple pick sixes, which is incredible for him. He never makes those, but going back to that game versus Titans last year, he's had like 5 in a row. So it's going to come down to that.
The discipline is gone. No Bill Belichick.
No discipline.
Watch.
They had 10 penalties, over 100 yards given up.
Discipline's gone. You know what that means? Green Bay in the over, baby.
Ooh.
That's what I'm doing.
I just feel dirty watching Tampa Bay right now. Ugh. It's just like awkward. I'm like, ew.
It's like when you get sweat right under here and you're like, oh, God, it's so dirty. It just feels bad.
Like, ew.
You know? Oh, it's awful. Get out the fucking extra strength Gold Bond.
Dirty. Adams is back. First game back, huh? So
he's back.
Interesting to see how he looks. Who else they got there?
And called him Devontae Parker.
Did I? Oh, Jesus. I got Parker on the brain. You want another stash, though? Do you want another stash?
Yes.
Aaron Lazard. He's on the IR. You got another IR spot?
I've had him on there.
The Lizard Lazard.
Scoop him up.
Yeah, he looked good. He looked pretty good the first 3 games that he played.
Nice.
Yeah, he had like 146 yards the last game that he played. So if if Adams is out, scoop him up when he starts.
Scoop him up.
Scoop him up.
Scoop.
Next game, we got the 4-1 Rams at the 2-3 49ers. Another fucking barn burner.
Isn't this a Sunday night game?
You tell me, Busta. I think it is.
You couldn't have flexed Brady versus Rodgers in there.
Seriously. So here you got Jimmy G getting benched last week, like legit benched, and he didn't look like he was fully recovered from the high ankle sprain at all. He looked like shit, and the team is a fucking mess right now on both sides of the ball. They're all beat up and stuff. Goff, here's the thing about Goff. You might like have Russ Wilson on a bye this week or something, and Goff wouldn't be like a horrible start. He's probably a top 20 guy, but this offense wants to fucking run the ball. That's what they want to do. They want to establish the run. So, there's probably a couple other guys out there that are better starts than him. I'm going to bring one up here in a little bit. Running backs, you got to go with Mostert. He's a must start. And I think still like Henderson the Rams are so much better when they just give the ball to one fucking running back. They did it last week. 2 weeks ago when they had the Giants, they spread it out amongst everyone, and that game was too close against the Giants. So I'm hoping that they just keep on feeding Henderson Jr. He's been a workhorse. He's looked good. But, it's like I have him going this week just because he played, so he'll probably suck hind tit. But the fact of the matter is the Rams eventually are going to want to see what Cam Akers can do.
Yep.
And if one of these games, who knows when it's going to happen, they're going to be like, here's fucking 15 carries, Cam. Go for it and see what happens. So
40 yards.
It's kind of like because these guys want to run the ball so much, you got Cooper Kupp, you got Robert Woods. Robert Woods I think he only has like one touchdown on the year. He's only got one game with over 100 yards receiving. Kupp's got 3 games, sub 80 yards receiving. I think Kupp still is like the guy that gets the touchdown. I think, I'm hoping today like he goes for like 80-1 or something like that. On the other side of the ball, you got fucking Debo, what bike punk, Samuel. He's a WR3. You got Ayak. It's hard to tell what any of those people on the 49ers are going to do right now with Jimmy G in the condition he is. Kittle is obviously the number one target on that fucking team anyway. And I'm going to make a prediction here. Like everyone's all Higbee for tight end. I'm going to say Gerald Everett gets the fucking touchdown this week. Everett. We're going with Everett this week. And I think because of the 49ers injuries, because it's funny because both of these defenses are still really good, and I don't even understand how the Niners defense still looks as good as they are after the fucking ass whooping they took last week to the Dolphins.
Shit.
I mean, what a fuck! I mean, Jesus Christ! I couldn't have got that game any fucking more wrong, honestly.
Yep. I mean, if the Miami Dolphins dropped 43 on you,
dude,
your defense is
magic, bro.
Crazy bad,
insane.
But
so, I mean, I'd start the Rams D because the Rams D is starting to look like that Super Bowl D again, where the 49ers are going in the opposite direction. The Rams, they got a good secondary. I think they're what are they? They are 7th against the pass. They're only giving up 226 yards, and Jimmy G's not throwing the ball well. So the Rams D would be a good start. Over under on that team on that game is 40. No, it's not. It is. What do I have here? What do you got, Mandarin? Let me see. 51. 51. I have the under. I have the Rams 27-20.
Yeah.
Well, the Rams are top 10 in the league in defense and in offense, if you're wondering. So
incredible.
That tells me that's a pretty good team. And after watching the Niners last week, that tells me they're a pretty goddamn bad team. Yeah. I'm going to take the Rams, whatever the spread is, in the over this week.
I have a 3.5. So is that what you have, Mandarin?
I have a 3, so it moved.
Yeah, mine's all from this morning. So 51 over under 3.5. So cover it. And but I'm taking the under. It could be. I mean,
move just a bit. Like when you go to scroller.com and you look down, it moves.
Jimmy G could be benched again. He was sick last week or didn't feel like throwing the ball. So I love the Rams defense in this game. I think that they're going to have a couple points scored, sacks, intos, whatever. Back to Cam Akers.
Beast.
He ran the ball a few times. He actually had 60 yards. He didn't catch anything. And I don't think he had a target, but at least he ran 60 yards. So that gave you something in a non-PPR league.
All right. Well, hey, let's get right to it. The last 2 games here and take some calls. I'm going to fly through this one. It was Thursday night game rescheduled for Monday night. Chiefs at Bills, 2 4-1 teams going head to head this week. Both teams got demolished this past week defensively. Kansas City made Derek Carr look like Tom Brady, and the Bills made Ryan Tannehill look like Roger Staubach. Tannehill went 6 for 6 in the red zone. This is ridiculous. The game isn't about the offense and which offense is better. It's about which defense is better. I think the Bills' game plan will be similar to the Raiders, and they have to, really get in there, press Mahomes. The Bills get Tre'Davious White back defensively, so that helps. I'd start all the offensive players, but stay away from Levy and Bell this week.
Yep.
Think new team. They might try to get him the ball a couple times. I don't think they're incorporate him too much. So just like the most 80 horror films, this game's going to be played over an Indian burial ground. Bills 38, Chiefs 34. Take the over.
Sit Bell. Temper your expectations. Of course, the phrase of the week. It's going to be interesting to see what fantasy players are going to do with CEH. They signed Bell,
but they never moved the bodies.
He could never get into the end zone. Did you get Bell to get into the end zone? Did you get Bell to catch the?
Buffalo's a 4.5 favorite.
I'm back.
I'm back.
We're losing Mandarin. We're losing Mandarin.
Jesus Christ, Mandarin,
you know what? That Bills fucking defense has been a gigantic letdown, dude. Those guys, that defense was supposed to be fucking top 5 defense, and they haven't done shit. I got them on one of my fantasy teams. They haven't had a breakout game, or they've had a couple picks, and fucking they look bad against the Titans. I mean, the Titans look really fucking good, but
what games we got?
I've got one to do.
Uno.
And
okay, man, let's get to it.
Last game.
All right, so last game we got the 3-2 Cardinals at the 2-3 Cowboys.
When is that game? What night is that?
Is it Monday night?
Yeah, we got 2 Monday
had a Monday night.
Yeah. So I'm kind of excited to watch this game, actually, dude. I think obviously you're gonna fucking start everyone in this
Red
game.
Rocket.
We're gonna fucking just let them fucking fly. You're obviously starting Kyler, and you know what? It's like fucking Dalton. Dalton has had like this, and I fucking hate Andy Dalton, but this is arguably the best offense he's ever been in. And he's been in some good offenses. He's had a couple years where he's thrown for 4,000 yards. He had a year where he threw 33 fucking touchdowns. So I think like he's a better start this week than Teddy Bridgewater or Jared Goff or fucking Joe Burrows. I think he's a better start than any of those guys. You have to start Drake just because of the volume what he gets. But I think he's still pretty close to losing his fucking job to Chase Edmonds. Chase Edmonds is a great flex to have. He's big in PPR leagues. He's catching the ball. He had a touchdown last week. So I'm expecting more of that, out of I think Chase Edmonds might have a better game than Drake. We'll see. Zeke, obviously a start. You're going to start all those receivers, Hopkins, Cooper, Lamb, Gallup. Send them all in. Tight end, I don't think Schultz is going to continue to do what he did with fucking Dak. OMG, Dak. Fucking as
I'm still upset about that, okay? It was a horrific injury.
No. OMG. He's still probably a top 15 tight end, but we'll have to see how it shakes out with Andy Dalton. And the defenses, like I said before, this is, obviously you're not going to be fucking playing Dallas's defense, but if you have the Cardinals defense that you typically play, maybe fucking put them on the shelf this week, go grab Washington, or even go grab the fucking Giants D, because I think this is going to be fucking slinging it.
Over.
I just wrote down my notes right here. Dalton Schultz, 75 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Easily the way that we predicted. Easily.
Really? Okay, so there you go.
My model is telling me lots of Schultz. Lots of Schultzy.
Over under 54.5.
If Schultz getting 2 touchdowns, I'm taking the over.
I'm taking the over, and I'm taking the Cowboys to upset the fucking Cardinals. 34-31.
All right, fellas. That's unbelievable,
that's
right?
The slate.
Dalton puts him on his back.
Dalton, he might actually have
he did last week.
3,500 yards in the next 10 games or so. That's how incredible this Cowboys defense is.
He's gonna throw for at least like 275 and 2. I would imagine. I mean, I think that's being pretty
love Lamb.
Red Dalton's back. Red Dalton is back.
Holy
This is
shit.
unbelievable.
Still upset about that.
Hey, let's get right to it. Let's take some calls. 508-964-3527. What do you got? You got some questions for us? Let's go. Load them up.
Nobody's going to call.
Nobody.
0 people are calling. You got how many minutes?
Wait. Okay.
What was that?
I thought Justin teased us.
Jesus.
Well, we just thought like
Justin New England games. It's going to be what's the over on that one? 4.5.
What New
Denver, New England?
4.5, right? That's what Steve Robinson said. I would take the over. Steve Robinson's over under this week was 4.5. So we'll take we'll take the over.
Yeah, I would. I'd do the over.
Like it's not the spread on that, like Pats by 9. That's what it was. Yeah, that's a lot. That's
Listen, if you want to know this week, if you want to know our locks of the week, you need to call in 508-964-3527.
TJ, I like what you're doing. You're getting callers to call in. That's participation right there.
No one's going to call in.
He's the A chair.
No one's going to call in. I'm going to be able to go make some nachos early, which is going to be great.
Snacks of the week.
Oh, snacks. What do we got?
What are you doing?
Peanuts in a shell.
Peanuts in a shell. Wow.
It's a must go to. It's old school. It's high in protein and fiber.
Ooh, excellent. Stay regular.
I'm going with some barbecue quesadilla.
Ooh.
Quesadilla.
Well, I'm going to change it up this week. Buffalo chicken dip.
Wow. That's bold.
I know.
That's a bold take.
People are going to have the trots this afternoon.
Oh, man. Well, again, let's try it again. Justin, no one's calling in. Someone's calling in. It's unbelievable.
Probably my mom.
Yes.
Hello, Gig.
Hi, Mom.
Hello.
Hey, is this Gig's mom?
Do you like Atlanta this week?
Do I like Atlanta?
TJ does. TJ likes
TJ does.
I think I like Atlanta because Minnesota's defense sucks. So that person's gone.
I like Minnesota.
What's the over under on that again?
I think it was like 54.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, it was 54.
Wow.
I like Minnesota. I like the Vikings. It's a home game.
That was fun.
Falcons defense is just so fucking
garbage.
Cool.
Yeah, but Minnesota's wasn't great either. Before last week, it wasn't great. I mean, but we'll give this a couple more minutes. 508-964-3527. Give it a call. You have a couple questions for us. At no point should you take any advice that I would give you or Mandard should give you.
Absolutely not. We have been wrong.
Wrong.
Except for Derek Carr. I called that last week. You people laughed at me.
I
did laugh at you.
I had a fucking rough week last week. That I felt bad after that Fitzpatrick take.
Maybe the phone line's not working. The phone's down, Justin?
Nope, phones aren't down.
Phones aren't down. All right. Someone said they're banned from calling the show. It's too bad.
That's not on us.
No, it's not. No, I don't know who anybody would be banned.
Let them call.
Let them call.
God,
keep
please
calling.
Let them call.
All right, 508-964-3527. Let's see. As far as like this COVID stuff is concerned, this still, 3 people on the Patriots squad tested positive. They're still going to trot out there at 1:00 today. Half the Jaguars practice squad, all COVID, going to trot out there today. But there's not been one case of on-field transmission.
No, which is incredible.
That is incredible. I watched Stephon Gilmore make out with Pat Mahomes after a game. They literally had each other's tongues in their mouths, and that Pat Mahomes didn't get COVID. So
yeah, that's so weird, man. I don't get it. Like they were fucking right there.
Right there.
Hey, we got a question via the text line.
Ooh. What do we got?
Big Ben versus Cleveland or Watson versus the Titans?
Big Ben, Cleveland, Watson, Titans. Big Ben.
I would go with Deshaun Watson. He's always done well against the Titans.
I'm going to be the tiebreaker and say Big Ben. I just think the Steelers are fucking. I think they're on a fucking tear this year. I mean, they're undefeated, right? They are undefeated.
Yep.
Right
Yes, they are.
And then they came back and beat the Eagles, which I think that game was a little closer than they expected it to be. But Ben's slinging it, dude. That guy's fucking slinging it right now.
We'll see what happens with Deshaun Watson. We'll see what happens this week. We have another one. Pick 3 in PPR. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, David Montgomery, Antonio Gibson, Miles Sanders, Alexander Hamilton, Madison, and then Myles Gaskin. And I'm not sure what JT is.
Jonathan Taylor?
Jonathan Taylor. Okay. Jonathan Taylor is going to get the rock this week.
This guy's fucking low. Are you kidding me?
Pick 3. So I would go Jonathan Taylor. I would go David Montgomery. And Miles Sanders gets 79% on the field. I will take Miles Sanders this week. Even though you pick Madison, have a pretty decent game. 30 yards, touchdown, 100 yards running, and another touchdown. I could see the last 3. So I would definitely go David Montgomery, Jonathan Taylor. But the last 3 is a pick 'em. Sanders, Madison, Gaskin. The Jets suck. So
I definitely have Sanders. I think you're right there. Taylor's kind of tapering off right now. Like his past couple of weeks haven't been all that crazy. Who are they playing again? Who are the Colts playing? Oh, the Bengals, right?
Bengals.
Yeah.
We haven't. Chubb and what's his name? Hunt ran on the Bengals a couple of weeks ago when they played Thursday night.
He's still getting the volume. Just Sanders is getting the volume. JT. I like Montgomery, and I really do like Madison, just because I think that team likes to establish. I don't know what you're talking about, Mandarin. I thought he fucking played great coming in for Cook.
Indictment on Seattle.
We have one more question. Speaking of a Chubb, over under on Steve from Providence banging a girl into 350 pounds in the next 7 days.
I'm not touching that one.
Are we doing the over the under on her weight or?
No, whether he
disavow. I would tell him to have.
Hey, I'm just reading the comments.
Send over some more awful trade proposals.
Yeah, tell this fucking kid. I'm not fucking trade. This kid sends me like, what about Higbee and someone for fucking Lockett? And I was like, are you high, kid?
508-964-3527. You got about 2 minutes left.
Here's the trade that Steve from Providence's son sent me. Josh Allen, Davis Montgomery, DJ Chark, Anthony Gibson for Kyler Murray and Zeke. A bunch of backup running backs and a quarterback. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's what he
shoot.
It was Shark and Davis was what he was trying to trade me for. I'm trying to remember who it was. It was like, it was for maybe it was for Austin Eckler, which I was like, all right, kid. Okay, I get that. Like, he's on the IR right now. But it's like, look, McCaffrey's coming back. And I have fucking stud wide receivers. I have Hopkins. So it's like, I don't need Shark.
You know what they say. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Absolutely.
So good for him trying to take a shot.
Oh, by the way, so.
Any updates? Any NFL updates?
All right, so Madison, right, had 112 yards rushing last week. And 24 yards receiving. And that was coming in like, when did Cook go down?
Brian Hoyer.
Second quarter?
Second quarter. So
I think it was second quarter.
Yeah, so that was pretty good, Mandarin. Oh, wow.
That's so Cam Newton is in. Brian Hoyer is out. He is inactive. That means Jared Stidham is your backup today.
Quarterback of the future.
If Cam Newton's on the center and he coughs once, you're gone.
I'll tell you what, Hoyer, like if Hoyer was starting, then I think Damian Harris would have been a really good flex player.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know, be interesting. He'll probably run for like 150 and 3. I'll be an idiot with him on my bench. fairly
God,
certain.
that guy that gave us 7 running backs, he's stacked. I was just looking over the list again.
I'm in a league of 4 people.
Jeez.
We're fucking killing it. We each have $1,000 on this season. Yeah, that's a great dude. I love to see who he's got for wide receiver because he should be stacked at wide receiver. If you have all those running backs, freaking yard sale. Get
Jesus.
Top 5 tight end or a receiver or something.
All right, guys. Well, we hit the hour mark. I
That's it.
I think that's it. Nobody called in.
That's all right.
Yeah, it is all
We had
right.
the text line.
As long as we have the text line, we're good.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Well, what do you guys think? I can't say what do you think because we just did that.
We just
get
gave
out of
our
here.
thoughts.
Yeah, no shit.
Everyone enjoy the games this week.
Enjoy the games. 1:00 is 1 of an hour. Keep up to date on Twitter. Make sure all the players you have set are playing and are getting benched. So,
What excellent advice, TJ.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Let us know when we're idiots.
We're fucking morons. Cut us out. We're out.
All right.